An armored truck arrives at a coffee shop. Within moments, a gang of robbers led by Ray Merriman, Pablo Schreiber, attacks and tries to break into the truck. The guards try to defend themselves by standing their ground, prompting the robbers to kill them. Police officers arrive at the scene and start a shootout with the robbers. Merriman and his crew eventually steal the truck, but not before cursing Donnie, O'Shea Jackson Jr., for killing the initial guard. In the morning, Detective Big Nick O'Brien, Gerard Butler, arrives at the crime scene. He's been investigating Merriman and his crew for quite some time, and Merriman blames Nick for the death of one of his men. Nick meets Donnie at the bar where he works and chats with him before cornering him in his car and knocking him out. Nick leads Donnie to a house, where his gang of officers question him about Merriman and his plans. Donnie explains that he only joined Merriman and his crew because he is a great getaway driver, and Merriman was impressed with his abilities. In a flashback, we learn that Merriman plans to rob the Federal Reserve on Friday of that week, taking approximately $30 million in unmarked bills that would otherwise be destroyed. Nick hires Donnie as a Chinese food delivery guy, which allows him to sneak through the vents to investigate the Federal Reserve Bank. At home, Nick's wife Debbie, Dawn Olivieri, discovers that Nick has been seeing other women, particularly strippers, behind her back. She furiously packs her belongings and disappears with their daughters. Debbie fires insults at Nick and hits him, despite Nick's pleas to listen. She later arranges for a lawyer to come to his workplace and serve him with divorce papers. Nick notices Donnie at a restaurant with Merriman and his crew, which raises questions when Nick confronts him. Merriman orders his right-hand man Levi, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, to hit and interrogate Donnie at their hideout to ensure he hasn't been discussing their plans with Nick. Donnie assures him that he hasn't said anything about the robbery. Nick visits a strip club and leaves with a stripper. Merriman discovers him in the morning but does nothing, having set up a stripper on Nick to gather information about him. Later, Levi's daughter's boyfriend arrives to pick her up for the school dance. Levi takes the guy aside and introduces him to Merriman and the rest of their crew in order to intimidate him and ensure that he doesn't harm Levi's daughter. Otherwise, the boy will be deeply sorry. When he leaves, Merriman and the guys laugh. Meanwhile, Nick drunkenly disrupts a small gathering of Debbie's friends. He becomes aggressive with one of the men before being told to leave. Outside of work, Nick makes an effort to see his daughter. The day of the heist has arrived. Merriman and his crew storm the bank, taking hostages. Nick and his friends are outside watching the chaos happen. The chief of police contacts the bank's branch manager on Merriman's behalf. Merriman orders one of his men to kidnap a hostage and shoot her in a back room to demonstrate their devotion. Merriman tells the manager to inform the chief that they want a lot of money and a helicopter. The thieves then blow open the vault and escape through a hole in the floor before Nick and his team arrive. They also discover that the hostage they allegedly shot is still alive, but terrified. Donnie is at the main building to make sure the gang gets their money. He finds the money and places them into bags. He returns to his job as a delivery boy, but this time he hands the customer a bag of food he had left in the vent several days prior. The customer attempts to get security to stop Donnie, but he is gone. Nick and his men catch up to him and beat him until he reveals Merriman's destination. Merriman has cut Donnie and another player from their roster. As they attempt to flee, they become stranded due to a traffic jam. Nick and his men see them and exit from their cars armed, while Merriman and his men try to flee. After warning the other drivers, the police open fire on Merriman and his men. Levi and the other men are shot, but Merriman escapes. Nick chases him down and shoots him through a fence, injuring Merriman. Nick jumps the fence to catch him, but Merriman refuses to go quietly. Despite his efforts to fight back, Nick shoots Merriman to death. When Nick goes to inspect Merriman's van, he discovers bags of shredded money. He also learns that Donnie has escaped custody. Later, Nick goes to Donnie's bar and discovers photos of himself with some of the heist crew members. Flashbacks reveal that Donnie had always planned for everything to go his way, including joining forces with Merriman, replacing the cash bags with shredded bills, and fleeing with the money. Nick realizes something. Donnie is currently in London, working at another pub. His crew is nearby, drinking and toasting their victory. A man from the shop across the street enters. Donnie serves him and asks if he works at the diamond shop. The man agrees, and Donnie generously offers him a free beer.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button to my channel to see more videos like this.